So, today's video is great knives that came out in 2023 that nobody's talking about. Starting it off, we have the KETO Knives Griffin, designed by David Zhin, and this has an M390 futuristic blade. It's got a harpooned blade with this nice squared off forward finger choil, titanium scales. It has an inlay of carbon fiber on both sides, titanium mill pocket clip and back spacer, and the back spacer is see-through, and it is a button lock with lots of forms of deployment. You got the flipper tab that works really good, the reverse flick equally as good, thumb flick, and then you can also use the fuller, and then you have the front flipper that you can use pretty much in any direction. You can even slow roll it really nicely. And the ergonomics are really comfortable. It doesn't look like it because it is very futuristic, but when you get it in hand, it's actually, it nestles right in your hand really nicely, and is a pretty useful knife. But I just don't hear too many people talking about it. Let's get to the next one. The next one is from Defcon Knives, another very futuristic looking knife. It's got this sheep's foot blade and M390 steel, and very comfortable ergonomics around this titanium handle. It does have a carbon fiber inlay, and this is real carbon fiber, and it has it on both sides, titanium pocket clip and back spacer, and it uses a crossbar lock, which are known to be very strong locking systems. They did a great job on it too. They tuned the detent really good. Sometimes with hold deployments, they don't work out well with crossbar locks. This one works great. They figured out the detent really well. You can just see it. Look at this. Look at that. Wow. So lots of power behind what acts as the detent in this knife, and very ergonomic. Like I said, man, this is definitely a great user, and it's one that I spoke about when I first got it, after Blade Show, but I haven't heard a lot of people raving about it. But it's very cool. And Defcon Knives, they have a lot of cool stuff. This is a company that ever since I first got to check them out, I've talked about them a lot. Definitely check out their site. I'll link it down in the description. They even have unique locks and stuff that they're actually doing big things. Next is the Real Steel Munnin or Mudgeon. I think it's the Munnin. I like this because to me this is a sleek tactical knife. It has a bayonet style spear point. I love that blade shape. Phenomenal blade shape. Works really good for EDC. It's a very universal blade shape. You can do utility cuts. You can slice with it. With this handle too. G10 handle that, is a handle that is so neutral that it doesn't matter what direction you are using it with, it will be very comfortable. And that's why I love this profile, this straight line profile that just works for a knife. It has a crossbar lock, so it's a nice strong locking system. The handle, like I said, is G10. It has a deep carry clip that is reversible. That's not a glass breaker. It's just a way for you to flip the clip over. And, it doesn't have like a strong detent or anything, but it works. It works good. But it's definitely one that I appreciate. Now, I really like the Micarta one. There's a Micarta one that looks really, really good. They did really good quality Micarta. Oh, by the way, the blade steel on this is VG10 steel. Nothing wrong with that steel. Nice stainless steel, plenty of toughness, good edge retention, good corrosion resistance. But yeah, all together, man, this is a really, really good one. I should have raved about it a lot more this year. And then the Real Steel Sacra. The Real Steel Sacra, this comes in a lot of different versions. This one's the denim micarta version, or blue micarta version. I guess maybe not denim. But this is like an integral budget knife, because the frame or the liners is one piece and it's just bent over. So that is the bend from each side. You can see how it folds, which makes for a super solid type of build. This thing is rock solid lockup. Again, crossbar locks are really strong. I love the thumb studs on this. They're nice and grippy. They work really good. I don't always like Real Steel thumb studs, but in this case, man, I wish they would use these thumb studs on more knives, because this is perfect thumb studs. They're grippy in the right way, nice, large enough. And yeah, it's just really good. And then the blade is a drop point blade in K110, which is basically a D2 steel. I think they might have other versions though. Deep carry clip that is reversible in set. also with flat screws. But yeah, just a super solid, small, compact knife that works really well. They have a bunch of different versions of this too. Now, one last one from Real Steel. This is more of an outdoors knife, 14C28N Scandi Ground drop point. Scandi grinds, man, they were great for anything wood related. And what I really like about this is it's large. It's not crazy big, but it's large enough to where this handle with this blue micarta is extremely comfortable. This is definitely one you could bear down, which I appreciate because this is supposed to be, you know, for starting fires, camping, hunting, fishing, things like that, where you might need to make traps and shelter and fire, you know, hunt, fish, whatever. So this, you know, because of the ergonomics, yes, I could bear down on this, you know, pretty much long term. And then a crossbar lock is a nice strong locking system. So I always appreciate that with a knife that's supposed to be tough. It has a deep carry clip that is reversible. And, you know, the crossbar lock in action is good. I'm just not a big fan of these thumb studs. Again, I'd rather have the thumb studs from the Sacra, but it works, you know, it works good. And for those that are going to be, you know, carrying this and buying this, you know, it's going to be a purpose-driven knife, which I always appreciate. And Scandi grinds, man, they get nasty sharp. Nasty sharp when done well. The Knife Rubato. The Rubato, another crossbar lock. They're not all going to be crossbar locks, guys. It's just, this is just how it kind of happened. These are the ones I'm grabbing. But it has a drop point Tanto in 154 cm blade steel. Really good ergonomics. Again, nice strong locking system. They did a pretty good job with the detent. It has blue liners. I'm pretty sure it comes in different colors. I could be wrong about that, but you can see the liners through the sides, which is kind of cool. Nice little touch. Deep carry clip that is not reversible. The lockup is rock solid though. Good access to the thumb studs. Very smooth. And you know, it's just a good full-size knife. You know, it feels semi-tactical-ish, but it, you know, it's a knife definitely that anybody could carry just as a basic EDC knife. I like that it has an American Tanto, so it has a pronounced tip right there that you could use to score things or open things. You know, it's got a nice profile. I'm just not a big fan of their logo. You know, I think it looks like a Matchbox car or a, what the heck's it called? Hot Wheels. That's what it reminds me. It reminds me of Hot Wheels. Anyways, let's get to the next one. The next one is a Trivisa. Now, what's cool about this is it simulates a friction folder, but it's a locking folder. So it is a button lock. So if you like friction folders that you roll around, you probably love this because it has so many great things going for it, on top of it having the profile of a friction folder, even though it has a detent and it locks. So it also acts as one of the best front flippers ever. I mean, this is so easy to use. I would give this to somebody that struggles with front flipping to learn on, because it is so easy to use. You have so much leverage on this front flipper. I mean, even if you do the reach over, the detent's not super strong. You can reverse flick it as well, which I really like. The ergos are super neutral, so no matter what, you know, grip you're going to be in, it's going to work well. I like the micarta scales, deep carry clip that is reversible. The blade steel is 10 CR, 18 MOV, and it is a very slicey little utility blade. So it's a sheep's foot blade that's going to work really well for most people. Very lightweight, but just an awesome little knife, man. Yeah, you just, you know, you get it in hand and you can feel like, yeah, this thing will be pretty useful. I wouldn't hard use it, obviously. It would be a light duty knife, but damn it, man, really good for light duty stuff. And then one more Trivisa. This guy, man, this one, personally, I think this looks like micarta. I know it's G10, but I love it. I think it looks so good. You know, complementing the black and the brown on both sides. You know, it looks like a bolster lock. Well, it is a bolster, but it's a faux bolster. But phenomenal flipping action. Great drop point blade, D2 steel, you know, really good ergonomics. The clip is not deep carry, so it's not in your hand at all. It feels like you're just holding on to a fixed blade. It feels like there's no clip. It's gonna slice really good. Good access to the lock bar, very smooth on the drop. Like I said, great detent. Nice comfortable flipper tab too. They did a good job on this one. Yeah, I got my negatives, like I'd rather it be 14C instead of D2. I'd love to see a finger choil or a sharpening choil, but other than that, man, this is a super solid user, man. And like I said, man, I love the grain structure on this G10. I'd love to see more G10 like this. It looks like linen micarta. I freaking love it. But it is actually G10. So yeah, very, very cool. Let's get to the next one. The next one is the Mad Tanto, the Kaiser Mad Tanto. I freaking love this knife. This is one of the best Tantos, I think, especially for this price range. 154 cm dual ground drop point Tanto, and I love that. So it has even good geometry in the thicker area, but it has a nice deep hollow grind, a nice straight edge right there for slicing. So you're going to get, nice powerful cuts all the way out to the secondary tip. You can use the secondary tip for scoring and opening, but you can also use the primary tip as good as you can use any drop point. So really, really good blade shape. And then you have some of the best ergonomics on really, really good quality micarta. I love Kaiser's micarta. They tune the detent so good on this button lock, but the ergonomics around this handle are just hand meltingly good. Now this is a design or, a collaboration with Damn Designs, and you can kind of see the influence, and they are known for doing really good ergonomic knives. The forward finger choil you can choke up and really bear down with. The action is ridiculous. I love the action. I love the feeling of the detent. I like the comfort of the flipper tab. It snaps out there with authority. Yeah, this is a damn good one. Deep carry clip, I don't like how it ramps up like that. It's because they inset it and they didn't account for that, I guess. I don't know, but it works great. And there's no failure, nothing like that. The micarta is definitely, you can see it ages over time, but you can wash it and clean it if you want to. 154 cm, great steel, beautiful sharp control and plunge grind too. So yeah, I really dig that one. Next one is this little BESTECH. Now, I would have never thought that how much I'd like this thing. And I even said this since I first got it. Like, this is a knife that's actually way better than you would think from the size and the look. One, yes, it's a little drop point blade, an M390 steel, titanium bolster lock, beautiful micarta, really good quality micarta, phenomenal access to the lock bar, and it's got good texturing there. So, it's a nice, comfortable disengagement. Then it has thumb stud action, nice thumb studs. They're placed very well, whether you're going to do the reverse flick or the thumb flick. And even for a compact knife, this thing is super snappy, man. Great placement for the thumb studs. Great thumb studs too. That's always a huge thing. When you're going to have thumb studs, flipper, or whatever deployment, you got to make sure it's a good quality one for the size and for the knife. And they did it really well. Now, here's the thing. With this thing being so tiny, you wouldn't think I'd be able to get a full 4-finger grip, but I absolutely can, even choked back right here, because my pinky wraps around this way comfortably, just because of the way the shape of the handle works. So I wind up being able to bear down and really, really squeeze onto this thing relatively comfortable. Yeah, I feel the deep carry wire clip that's also reversible, but the clip works great. It doesn't bother me enough to really care. And, the pinch grips, for opening things up, which is going to be the primary use, is really good. All in all, man, this thing is badass. I would love to see a large version of this. Make a large version. Not that I don't love this mini one. And to be honest, this design is just so, it's so perfect for this size of a knife. Like I said, it surprises you when you get it in hand and you actually open it. You're like, wow, for such a small knife, this thing is really comfortable, very capable, great action, great everything. If you like compact knives, check this one out. And speaking about compact knives, the Nitro, the Mini Nitro, the Wii Mini Nitro, which is a carry design, I've dug this thing since I first got it. Now, it does come in lots of different versions. I love this brown micarta. I think this is such good quality micarta. They did a really good job with it. Some of my favorite micarta. It doesn't patina or age, so it kind of stays like this. Obviously, it'll darken a little bit, but not like super fast. Thumb studs are really good. Detent's not super strong on this one, but it's just fine. Most people probably prefer this strength of a detent. So the action's really good. Thumb studs, like I said, really comfortable, well placed. whether you're doing the reverse flick or the thumb flick. You have a beautiful, I'm going to call it a drop point, but yeah, it's a drop point. Beautiful swedge on top, 20 CV steel, titanium bolster lock, great access to the lock bar, steel lock bar insert, titanium mill pocket clip, and geared back spacer. Ergonomics, super good. You know, it's slightly contoured, and just the shape of it works really well, especially for a small knife. Now, it's nowhere near as small as that BESTECH we just pulled up, but, you know, it's still a compact folder, and, you know, you could choke up. The cutting performance is pretty decent on it. You know, it's got good blade geometry, you know, coupled with the ergonomics. It's just, it works really well. T8 hardware all the way around. Titanium T8 hardware, by the way. But yeah, this is one I haven't seen a lot of people raving about this one or this one. Honestly, I don't even know if I've even seen this on anybody's channel. But one more compact little folder from Wii. This is a Gavco design with Wii, and I love this harpooned sheep's foot blade. It just looks nasty aggressive while being super compact, but super useful in the pinch grip. This is a great pinch grip knife. 20 CV, deep hollow ground blade, so it's going to be super slicey. Titanium scales, and it does come in different color options, different finishes. Titanium pocket clip, and it's a spring pocket clip, so you know these work well. Standoff instead of a back spacer, but it is a T8, titanium T8 hardware. Thumb stud action, good thumb studs. I think these are titanium thumb studs, and you know, Wii does a really good job with their thumb studs. And you know, the handle has, you know, this I'm not gonna say unique, but you know, it's small. It's not a big handle, but it winds up working out really well, especially if you choke up. The choke up spot's really good with it, and like I said, the pinch grip is where it is at. Good access to the lock bar, very smooth on the drop, not fall shut, but it's a super light blade. But the thumb studs are easy to access, and yeah, really, really cool. And like I said, it has a nice aggressive look while being, you know, not super aggressive. You know what I mean? The KANSEPT Corvid S, the fixed blade version, my favorite version of all of them. This is one of the most comfortable handles I have felt from KANSEPT, and just period. I think you'd have to get it in hand to really respect how awesome this thing is, but it's so comfortable, you would want to pull this out to use it. That's the way it is. Like if you work at a job where you do utility cuts, maybe break things down, you know, you cut whatever, this would be a knife that you'd probably want to carry with you. One, it's a fixed blade, so it's going to be nice and strong, full tang construction. It has different handle materials. The blade steel is S35VN. It's nice and slicey, beautiful stone wash, and you know, that swedge, you know, just kind of adds to the flair. But man, to bear down on this is so comfortable. The sheath works well. Not a big fan of this clip, but you can always change it out, and it does work. It is nice and tight. It's not flimsy like some of the other ones. But yeah, just all around a super good little cleaver fixed blade. It's gonna work just similar to a sheep's foot. And then the TUCKAMORE, the KANSEPT TUCKAMORE. My goodness, this was a good one. This was probably KANSEPT's best knife of the year, at least in the top 3. This thing is so smooth. The whole deployment is so easy to get to. It is such a great reverse flicking knife, even for lefties. Like, this is a great lefty knife. So if you're a lefty and you know, it doesn't have a a lefty clip. It's only a right-hand clip. But as far as the action goes, titanium mill pocket clip, titanium body with these inlays in this copper carbon fiber, but it does come in other versions. The blade steel is20 CV, fuck. The blade steel is 20 CV on this sheep's foot blade. It has a nice aggressive look. You know, I love how it like scoops down and then scoops down again, you know, for the sheep's foot. Nice pivot collars. Great access to that hole, man. It's such a good flick. Good access to the lock bar, very smooth on the drop. The ergonomics are also really good. You can you know, you're not far from the blade, so you feel like you're choked back, like how a comfortable grip would be, you know, before the finger choil. That's how it kind of feels, but without you actually, you know, being far from the edge. You can always choke up if you need to. Put your middle finger right there if you want to, very comfortably. You can easily cut straps with it, pinch grip. All in all, man, this, like I said, this is one of their best knives of the year. The clip, I think, could have been better. It does work, but I wish it had a little bit bigger ramp, but that's honestly, if you have a diamond plate, you could easily do that yourself in like probably 15 minutes, probably not even. But anyways, awesome, awesome knife, the KANSEPT TUCKAMORE. Next is the Artisan Andromeda. Now, I know this came out last year, but it was like the end of last year. It was like November of last year. So, really quick, the Andromeda is a knife that I personally think is really, really awesome. It surprised me how much I like it, because I did not think I would. I looked at the style of it, and I thought maybe I would, but it has a spear point blade. It is a Ray Laconico design. This one is S90V, but they do have more affordable versions. Titanium body, titanium mill pocket clip, lava flow fat carbon fiber, but there is other options, so lots of different price ranges here. The ergonomics are very straightforward, which is something I appreciate, but just, you know, just as a light duty EDC knife, it has style, it looks good, you know, great thumb stud action. And like I said, it comes in so many different price ranges, and I really appreciate that Ray Laconico kind of did something a little different. You can still see his design influence, but it's not his typical designs, you know, like the Keen or, you know, whatever. You know, he has so many designs out there, but you usually can look at it and say, oh, that's a Ray Laconico design. This one, you might hesitate. So, one last one. Now, this is not from 2023, but I'm going to talk about it because it's super unique. A friend from the community gave it to me. So shout out to Two Bones Jones. He gave this to me, and I'm surprised how awesome it is. This is a little Italian side auto, and you can see the name right there. Made in Italy. It's just, you know, regular stainless steel, but basically this is I forget what these things are called, a pin lock or whatever. Yeah, I think it's called a pin lock, but this thing has a ridiculous strong spring. Like, you don't expect it to have so much pop. I mean, it is very powerful. Put it this way, as it opens up, this pin hits this steel plate, and it has to have enough power to push the plate out of the way, which is creating tension, mind you, kind of like a back spring. So it has to push its way into that hole. That's how powerful it has to be. So you really feel the recoil on that one. The lock, you know, you just push it this way, and it, you know, it's on a pivot, so it pushes the lock out of the way, and then it allows the pin to come through, because you see the pin right there, locks up in that hole. Push it out of the way, and it folds, and you gotta lock it in so that it compresses the spring. Very good deployment. I love the hollow ground spear point or drop point blade, whatever you want to call it. Really good geometry, FRN scales, steel liners, and then it does have a lock. Now the lock works only in, I believe, the closed position, so it doesn't fire off in your pocket, but really, really ergonomic, man. And these things are super affordable, which they should be, you know, because they're basic stainless steel. I'd love to see something like this made in some decent materials, though, you know, just because it's unique, it's cool, Italian made. And I know some people are going to say that's not unique, that style's been around for a very long time. I know, but, you know, as far as in 2023, it'd be cool to see a nice premium version of something like this. But anyways, there you guys go. Just a quick look at it. We checked out some knives that I don't think are getting as much attention as they deserve. Work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.